Senator Rennick.
Thanks, Chair. Hi, guys. How are you going?
Good to see you.
Look, when I was in the supermarket inquiry, I was surprised to hear from horticulturalists who said they had to sign non-disclosure agreements with Coles and Woolworths. And is that legal? Are you allowed to? Because, I mean, I grew up on the farm. I'm used to going to cattle sales. There's a, Eastern Cattle Market Index. There's a Wool Market Index. How is it that Coles and Woolworths could silence, put NDAs on horticulturalists? Step one, that's the first question. And then I note that there's a collective bargaining exemption, so that businesses with aggregated turnover of less than 10 million are exempt from collective bargaining laws. Is that the correct interpretation of that particular section? It's section 95A of the Competition and Consumer Act 2010.
So I'll start with the non-disclosure agreements. So the ACCC is currently very close to concluding our final report,
right,
which will be delivered to government by the 28th of December, so shortly. I'm not in a position to comment on the final report, but it was clear in the interim report that one of the many concerns that were raised with us were by suppliers, including farmers, relating to unequal bargaining power, and the manner of a range of aspects relating to contracting, and we will address a number of those aspects in detail in the final report. In terms of the collective bargaining exemption, you are right that for small businesses that come under the relevant level, they can notify, so that and once they've notified and we're satisfied, then they are exempt from the collective, in effect from the prohibition on parties who are competitive engaging in collective boycotting or
sure,
so that they can negotiate together.
Okay, because I guess, I mean, I know these I checked Woolworths accounts out the other day. They've got about a 65 billion in turnover. I know that's not all to do with horticulture, but I would have thought there's a pretty uneven playing field between, say, small farmers, some of whom horticulturists might sort of sell more than $10 million worth of produce, but you've only got a 1 or 2% margin and throwing other stuff out, you're not making a lot of money. Is that something, do you think, that's a bit on the low side, given that Woolworths and Coles make billions in turnover?
So
I mean, it's a case-by-case basis. But
I understand. So firstly, our final report will certainly look in a lot of detail at the question of the position of suppliers and small suppliers and a range of suppliers. There is a capacity to come to the ACCC for authorisation for participants who wish to collectively bargain, who are larger than and don't come within that notification requirement. So that is the way that we do assist. And, for instance, in relation to, we have this week authorised a group of Catholic hospitals in order to collectively negotiate with private health insurers.
Oh, right, yep.
And that was an authorisation, not a notification, because the hospitals together were above that level.
Sure. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Chair.
Authorised G. Rennick People First Chermside.